Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. I am getting nearly ready for a haircut. Entertainment only. Okay, artworks have been taken down. Bit late today. Took a carload of them up the coast, a couple of hours up the coast to my father-in-law's. Coming back down the coast again on the highway, went, "Whoa, hang on, is that my father-in-law?" Because he wasn't home. Pulled up, broken down in the breakdown lane on the side of the road. By the time I got him on the phone, I'd travelled another 20 minutes, did a U-turn heading back. Turns he'd run out of petrol, so I kept going, bought him some fuel, bought a jerry can, got back to him, filled him up. Car still wouldn't start. It's not an old car, it's a fairly new one, a couple of years old. And so he called the roadside assist, who came with the tow truck. So talk about put a spanner in the works of my day. And then I get home and realised I've forgotten to take several pieces up, but they'll get up there eventually in the next couple of days. I have to do another run with all my pot plants to put them in a safe space as well. Can't be putting art and pot plants in shipping containers in the heat that we're about to experience coming up. Okay, what do I have a look at in this particular video? In good news, Candace Owen, she appealed the denial of her visa coming into Australia, and the appeal, the decision was upheld. So, no, Candace Owen, Sniffy Jr. didn't get a visa to come to Australia a couple of years back either. Love it. News has come out from the regime that they're going to use $8 billion from an unobligated research development testing fund to pay the troops next week. Not very legal. That's supposed to be approved by Congress, and that was money that was approved by Congress for a specific task, but you know what old sticky fingers is like. My money's mine and your money's mine as well. So we'll see how that goes. I get the feeling, I actually read on it in my No Kings video, that the regime is trying to work out how they can do it to give that money to the troops, but I don't think they're going to be able to for whatever reason. Okay, where do I go from here? I'm just going to touch on the ceasefire in the Middle East. The cards I got in regards to that was so positive. I'm really hopeful, touch wood. But what's happening is that the ceasefire appears to be hanging on by its fingernails, as not all the deceased persons have been returned by Hamas as of yet. Look, to be honest, when you're in a war zone where there are bombs raining on you, and buildings and everything has been, hospitals and everything has been destroyed around you, last thing you're going to do is try and hang on to a deceased body from 18 months ago. Oh goodness me. You're out there looking after, and you know there's no food and you're starving and no water. You're out there looking after the people who are living, not bones from 18 months ago that are probably buried under the rubble anyhow. What a mess, what a mess, what a mess. So because not all the bodies have been returned, Israel is now blocking aid from getting into the Gaza, certain areas of the Gaza region. So literally hanging on by its fingernails. But the cards I got were really positive, and what I'm feeling is going to happen is that before it actually collapses, I might throw a couple of cards anyhow and have a look. The Lightseer's Tarot, entertainment only. Are things going to get resolved before the ceasefire collapses? Now, the Orange Twerp is back in Washington. He had a huge schedule, I believe, for the day just gone, starting at 2 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous. Nothing is scheduled from what I can see for tomorrow. Oh, he's come out. So, okay, he's come out and said that if the Malay government does not win the election, that's coming up this month in Argentina. Is it Argentina? I'll have to double check. If the Malay government, let me check and get it right. Hang on a sec. Yes, Argentina. He's come out and said if the Malay government in Argentina does not win the next election, then Argentina will not get the $20 billion promised. So therefore, it was never actually intended for the people of Argentina or the best of the people of Argentina. It was intended to line the pockets of the Malay government, but we knew that. I mean, anyhow, let me have a look. Will events overtake these? Okay, going to go on those three cards. There are secrets that are going to come out, the moon card, secrets that are going to be exposed, come to the surface and be exposed. See, no nudie figures on their YouTube censors. We've got the Knight of Swords that is going to be a very fast moving, harsh truth that comes out really quickly. Action will occur really quickly. And then we've got the Hanged Man, the stopped. So I think, given the cards, and then we've got the Temperance, balance, moderation, card of peace, the card of the angelic realm, and then the Ace of Swords. A new, brutal, honest truth coming out. There is something that is going to come out that is going to overtake the events of this breaking down of this ceasefire. I can't help but keep getting that. Okay, so this is actually segueing into my next reading. What I want to have a look at, one of my beautiful viewers brought this to my attention. First of all, let me set the field here. The orange twerp keeps trying to set precedences in other countries. So the other day, about 2 days ago, he declared that the corruption charges against Netanyahu should be dropped by Israel, and he declared that the crimes against humanity conviction that was brought by the ICC should be dropped as well. He does this. He says certain things because he's guilty of all this. So therefore, he tries to set an international precedence to have charges dropped, to have the legal system set up in a particular way, by having somebody else deal with it first. If you can hear that, that's Bindi having a good back scratch. By having a legal precedent set on something else that would then reflect on him. Now, the reason I'm saying this is it was brought to my attention by one of my beautiful viewers. Bindi, boo-boo, how about you just give it a rest, mate? One of my beautiful viewers, that the regime is demanding, come out and has demanded that the FBI release the classified documents in regards to the Amelia Earhart disappearance. Now, the orange twerp and his regime have been trying legally to get classified documents released, and I'm talking about the Steele dossier, which I'll have a look at in a separate reading because that's interesting too. Trying to get documents declassified. They've been trying to for months now, trying to get certain documents declassified that, for whatever reason, that they think is against one of their opponents, or that they want them to be found and released that are in regards to them so that they can see what's in them, etc. Haven't got specific examples, but I'm sure you can look them up using Google if you wanted to. So what's happened is that the regime has come out, and demanded that the FBI release the classified documents into the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Now, I don't know that there is any classified documents. Basically came out, wrote an executive order, demanded they be released, and gave a 24-hour time frame or something for the FBI to scour everything and release these documents. Now, I'm just going to point out, I did a quick Google on this. Classified documents are automatically declassified, so they then become freedom of information, declassified after 25 years or 50 years, depending on what the information is within the documents. A lot of them actually become declassified at 10 years if there's sort of, nothing much to look at here. But there's two cut-off points, 25 years and 50 years. You can request for them to be declassified sooner, but you have to go through the legal system and that can be denied, etc. and so forth. You have to have a really bloody good reason for it, and it has to be a reason not just because I want it or because I want dirt on somebody. It has to have a really watertight legal reason to declassify the documents. So, but they are automatically declassified after 25 years and or 50 years. So the fact that the Amelia Earhart disappearance was 90 years ago means there should be nothing left to be declassified. Ergo, you can make a request of the FBI or whoever for freedom of information for the documents. Now, legal precedence is what's happening here. So if the Orange Twerp can get away with declassifying the Amelia Earhart documents, which, looks all patriotic and, really interested in something that happened in our history, and this is a pioneer of aviation and blah, 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 and all for women. Yeah, right, we know how that goes. But what happens is it would set a legal precedence if he can get if this all goes through through the courts, because the courts will go, but there's nothing to declassify. Yeah, let it go through. It sets a precedence of the supposed illegitimate president demanding documents be declassified and getting away with it. I'm just going to put that out there. Now, apparently there's a few people that came out from the FBI and went, what? Because there's no criminal case here. It's a cold case. The documents have already been declassified. You could find them if you wanted them. There was no reason for the order to declassify, and there was no reason for the urgency to declassify. But what he's doing here is he's setting a precedence. So I'm going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, and now, of course, Bindy's chasing a fly around on the timber floor. So if you hear click, 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 I do apologise with her claws. Boo, 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 come here. Come here and say hello. Come here and say hello and go and lie down somewhere. Okay. Yeah, you're okay. It's not dinner time. Let's have a look. Is the regime demanding that these documents, the Amelia Earhart, what is the ulterior motive behind the regime demanding that the Amelia Earhart documents be declassified? What is the motivation? Let's have a look. What is the hidden agenda? Why do they want this? Come on down, let's have a look. Oh, so looking forward to doing boring stuff again. Because there is some documents that they have been prevented from having access to, that they know exist, but they have been shut out from them. This is interesting. Okay, because The felon and whoever's behind him wants to know what the FBI have on probably him or them that they don't have access to, documents that are locked away out of their reach. Ooh, interesting. Didn't know that was possible. Some sort of announcement coming from the White House, a rah-rah-rah announcement coming from the White House. So I think they're going to push forward with this. Yeah. Challenged by the hermit, something that is being kept in isolation that they want access to, that they want to be able to shine a light on. An investigation that they want to know about, that what's in it. Ooh, wow, okay. The energy that they're stewing in at the moment is being ignored. Having to walk away, being blockaded with the Eight of Cups there, trying to find another circuitous route to get access to this. That's what I'm getting from that card. Whoever it is in this regime that's behind it was blocked from being able to progress forward. They're trying to find a workaround, a path around. Oh boy, in the past, Ace of Swords, there is something here that could bring down the king and the whole regime. There is some report or classified documents that could blow everything open. Now, I'm going to have a read on it this separately. I'm just going to bring you up for a second. I was actually really shocked. I was I had seen the video from an American called Clifton Case, comedian apparently, who has brought up the Paul Tatum, an American expat businessman who was gunned down in Moscow in 1996, claiming that he had information on the orange twerp that he was blackmailing with or something along those lines. Or the orange twerp knows something about it. Google Clifton Case Paul Tatum, Tatum, if you want to have a look. I was led down the rabbit hole of the Steele dossiers because I thought, okay, well, we've got the Steele dossiers and the Mueller report, both of which were suppressed. Now, the Steele dossiers weren't there. There was parts of the report that were released by the press in 2016 and 2017. Unfortunately, not in time to influence the November voting in 2016. Most of what was uncovered in the Steele dossier was released after the voting thing had happened and before the inauguration happened, and then literally it was sliced and diced and hidden away by the likes of Bill Barr and Boris Johnson, etc. Really, like, when you go Steele dossier and look at the Wikipedia page, how on earth did this guy get to sit in that seat in the first term? Let me just pick my jaw up off the floor. The information that was pertained within was absolutely devastating, yet somehow it all seems to have been forgotten. Okay, Miss Universe pageants in Moscow, close connections with the Kremlin and Russian banks, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me just scratch that itchy spot. My mind was just boggled, absolutely boggled. But there is something even worse here that is locked away that they want to get their hands on. So they're trying to find a roundabout route, however you like to pronounce it, to get their hands on it. Let's see where this goes. Crowning the reading, the Ten of Cups. It's my card for the voter, card for democracy, but it could also be joy and rainbows and sparkling unicorns, and it's all about Amelia Earhart when it's not really. So this could be what is being presented. And it's a 10, which means it's an ending card. So it could be presented as fireworks and being a patriot and blah, 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 blah. This is the energy over it to try and bring this blockage to an end. So we've got the Eight of Cups here walking around. It's cups and cups. Okay, the immediate future. The Knight of Swords, rashly charging in. Could be defending, or it could be attacking the legal system or defending the legal system in regards to this. This is rash action being taken, a harsh truth. Externally, the King of Wands. This could be a judge attacking the legal system and a judge standing firm with the King of Wands, or it could simply be action being taken. Let's see where it goes. Internally, smoke and mirrors, delusion. Look over here while that's happening there. Trying to fool people. Again, cups. So we've got 7, 8, and 10. What they are presenting, so this might be an announcement here, rashly riding in an action being taken, but what is being presented externally is not the intention internally. Let's see where this goes. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles, the hopes and fears, a presentation of a document here, money trail, the outcome, hard work to hard work to change the documents that they're trying to get their hands on, to keep something secret and hidden to do with legacy, but also oligarchical money changing hands. This is what they want to get their hands on. They want to get their hands on some documents to be able to change them, to keep something hidden about dealings that were done. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yep, that is the internal plan with the Queen of Wands, and it's to try and steal, lie, betray, take off with 5 of the swords and only leave 2. An announcement coming from the White House, an agreement that's been made. You've got is it the government or the Supreme Court? Might be the government. Something across the aisle, some sort of agreement across the aisle in governance. But you've got the Star, the narcissist, but he might find himself disappointed as secrets are revealed about connections with Russia. Might be too little too late. I think that's what they're wanting these documents for, is to alter financial discovery or investigations. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think it's to alter something in the documents. It's something they don't have access to at the moment. Right. However, Pentacles are my election as well. So, but I would have thought they'd have full access to the DNI Haynes's report. So it's not that. Tell me, is it to do with money? Is it to do with money? And then I'll shuffle again and ask if it's to do with votes. Right, the Temperance, Page of Cups, something unexpected, and Justice. Movement back and it's traffic. It's Epstein trafficking information. Now, one would have thought they would have access to this, but they don't. I don't know what it is. It's to do with movement back and forth, trafficking back and forth around the world that can bring down the king and all his cronies, to do with the Epstein files. There's something here. Now, notice that this came out, this demand for Amelia Earhart came out after Bondi had ordered, what was it, 1,000 FBI agents to scour through hundreds of thousands of documents. Is this money trafficking information do with, is it information to do with money changing hands? I mean, I would have thought that they'd have it all. I just heard Treasury. Right, it is smoke and mirrors. What they're really after is not what they're telling you what they're after. Something is hidden, still hidden on them. They've got access to all this, but there's something still hidden on them. Is it to do with the movement of money in regards to human trafficking? Yes. You've got the youthful figure here with the document, and you've got the big stick. Powerful message. Volatile, powerful message that they want to make disappear. Wow. If I go to the bottom, I've got the Page of Wands. Again, information about youth that will be absolutely emotionally overwhelming. And it's to do with money, money laundering, money trafficking, to do with children in the past. There's a lot of information to come out that will just destroy those involved. You've got overseas, you've got money. At the moment, it's hidden. They're taking action to try and find a way around. I don't think they're going to succeed with that Eight of Swords and the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. And it is volatile information. The Page of Cups, to do with children, and it involves the Emperor. Ick. And it is something that they suspect, they know is there, they have an inkling of what's in it, they can't get their hands on it. And that is what's behind wanting to declassify the Amelia Earhart documents, to set a precedence, to get a workaround, to get their hands on these documents that they have no right going anywhere near, because they know what is contained in it is Devastating. I'm going to pull a couple of cards from the True Crime Oracle deck. Thank you for all of you who have let me know that this week they are expecting massive storms and flooding in New Mexico. For those that have been following me for years, I read, gosh, 18 months ago that I'm going to say remains will be uncovered in a big flooding event. So perhaps that might be this week. It just feels like we're really coming to a culmination. What is in those documents that this regime are desperate to get their hands on that they can't due to being classified? I mean, this is a guy who had a bathroom and a ballroom stage full of classified documents, but obviously it wasn't that one. What's in it? A cleanup. That's what they want them for, a cleanup. Fraud. This is ick. And accomplice partners in crime. It's all there. It's all there. We've got a suicide of a celebrity. Was this something to do with Epps himself? Outer space. And well, obviously that's not talking about outer space itself. It's talking about outside. I'm getting that is in the vast plains around Zorro Ranch. Yeah, I'm going to call that Zorro Ranch, that motel hotel, because there was comings and goings and stayings. I just desperate to do a cleanup, and it's all to do with this is why they're getting so desperate, and desperate people make big mistakes. So I'm going to leave it there. Entertainment only, all allegedly. Let's see how it plays out. Love to you all. Take care.